Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and we are very, very excited. We are bringing you building ret.team. And that was something that we decided that we would embrace as far as a team. And I'm a huge fan of the acronym Together Everyone Achieves More. I've sent out multiple tweets under the REtoken DAO account on Twitter. And let me show you real quick, because kind of like the governance process, the way that this works, and we had a temp check here on our voting proposals. And that's one of the things I like talking about when I get an opportunity. And let me show you that one real quick here. All right, so here on Discord, and this is one of the things that I'm really excited. Mrs. Yonks, who's with us now on this live stream, she's going to be leading the team, the new platform team conversation, because one of our commitments as a community, we will build an inclusive and platform agnostic community. But anyway, we're here today to talk about ret.team. And real quick, I was showing the poll that occurred here, and we had a screenshot right here. Let's see. So this was to buy the domain. This was the one that we talked about on the live stream call. So this is the one that I was looking for here. And as you can see, it unanimously went forward. This was a very affordable domain. Literally earlier today, we had the ad hoc conversation where we got the DNS all set up. So like going right now to ret.team, this is what we are seeing with. And right now, this is one of the opportunities that put forward to some of the people that were on that ad hoc conversation with the dev team. We really need to have a migration strategy right now. Mrs. Yonks and I are hosting the ret.team and retoken.info on our own VPS solution. And that's an opportunity that we have to put together a more sustainable and scalable solution for the DAO at large. So that's something that we can talk about in 2022, which is just literally right around the corner. So excuse me, caught some air in the wrong windpipe there. But anyway, this will look very different as we go through the conversation here today. And did anybody want to chime in on some thoughts real quick? Joining us on the live stream today, we've got Mrs. Yonks, D-Sign, Efosa, and welcome Efosa to our live stream. I know that you just recently made an introduction to our community, so we are glad to have you, and thank you for hopping on our live stream today. And also, Amy, you are always welcome, and always love the contributions that you bring to the team here. So I'm going to go on mute, allow you all to drive some of the little conversation, because we've got to start making some things happen. And that's, I'm going to do that driving on moving this conversation forward, and somebody else can talk.
So I am so glad that we're moving forward on this. One of the things that I don't know if this is the right forum for this. Do we want to talk about what parts we actually want on the website, or are we talking about kind of the general look and feel of it? What all do we want to talk about? Because I got lots of ideas for the website. Just don't know what all's on scope for this call.
Yeah, so what we're really wanting to do is to deliver the functionality. Now, I would absolutely love those conversations to occur, and I would encourage you to facilitate the capturing of those. We've got the live stream channel in Discord. I think that that's the best place to facilitate those conversations. So, and that I sent out a Discord announcement. I saw that Double D joined us. Welcome, Double D. So this is a very exciting, because Double D put forward some of our POAPs for this REtoken relaunch, and this is just a very real deliverable that the dev team led by D-Sign. Again, we had a breakout conversation. D-Sign put this live stream on the calendar, so thank you, D-Sign, for taking the initiative to drive this conversation. So we can toss some of those ideas around. I'll let you facilitate that conversation though, Tyler. And I'm going to just show the live stream channel here real quick. I'm going to say hello from Discord. So there's me saying hello, and this was the announcement that I put out earlier. So I'm going to get back over here. We've also have the agenda, and we don't have a lot of finalized agenda on this, because I do have a process on another site, and that's something I'm going to take a look and bring into the screen share so that you can all see that for just some workflow that I've used for setting up WordPress sites on this before. So I'm going to go on mute. Over to you, Tyler, to drive the conversation.
Okay, thanks. So I'd like to propose a couple of things. One is the first thing that I think that we need to add, and DSign, Double D, and Efosa, if you also do devs, I'll leave you to figure out the best way to make this thing look and function. But I want to make sure that we've got links to our Discord, our meetup group in Denver, and whatever other meetup groups that we have. We're doing a parent and child meetup group. So as those start forming, we want to have those available. We want to have links to Trello. We want to have links to YouTube, Snapshot, Boardroom, all of our links that'll backlink and drive us. I would like.
Let me write all this down 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right, start over.
Or Tyler, just type that into the and if you want to do the screen share and drive this, I would just recommend just typing that in the live stream and encourage the audience to engage, because this is a good forum for doing that. Because like what I'm sharing, I don't have any agenda for sharing. So if you want to facilitate that, and we can kind of wrap that up, and I'll work on getting some of this, getting the domain on, because like one of the things that is such an urgency from my standpoint is to capture in a more consumable manner this whole REtoken relaunch, because I put a lot of content forward in Discord, and I don't know, do you want to drive a screen share, Mrs. Yonks, Tyler?
Would it be okay actually if I shared my screen? I have a FigMe board already made up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me make you a co-host here. And Figma is absolutely one of the tools that we have been exploring. And it's one of the great things about Figma is that it integrates very nicely into Gitbook, which is our main repository. So I'm going to stop the screen share on my side, and it is over. Did you get the host there on your end, DSign?
Yeah, I believe so. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So DSign, what I would like to propose is all the links that we have in the Start Here channel, plus LinkedIn, which I don't believe is on there yet. But it's just, that's what we would like to, I'd like to have links to all of those in some clean, pretty way. I don't just want to make it look like Gitbook, but I also love Gitbook. I know everybody worked really hard on the light paper. So just to give people a really clean look and feel for what we're doing, how to get involved, and to make it easy to navigate. So I don't know if that's blocks across the top, or I definitely want to have the Google Calendar in there. And then this is something on our current website that I liked, but we didn't quite have there yet. There were links to sign up for an email list that didn't exist yet. So we need to add the email list. We need to add the to have a backend database with that. And then we need to let people sign up for, and I don't know what this would look like, but we had Clubhouse, and we've got our DAO Hack podcast. We wanted to start a separate REtoken podcast. So I don't know if that's just sign up for the podcast if you want to get notified when it goes live, or I don't want to overwhelm people. I just want to let people opt into what they're interested in.
There's going to be an onboarding process that I'm going to write up like a kind of like a roadmap for this process, but part of that will be opting in and out to the different avenues that they want to engage with REtoken on.
So one of the goals for this site that I have is to make sure that we're the top sort as much as we can for all the keywords that we care about. And I'm assuming real estate tokenization is real estate tokens, passive income, were all things that we'd kicked around as things we wanted to sort highly for.
Well, do you have a place where you're capturing some keywords that, you know, because I think the opportunity of just like kicking off some conversation of what those keywords would be And I don't know if you want to bring that up to the content team, because that really needs to be an important component in the content team, or all of the teams, but really I'm expecting the content team to drive that and own that one most.
Okay, can I share screen now?
Yep. And one of the opportunities too is people that are into the WordPress look and feel, because like the opportunity for us to create our own theme is definitely something that we'll be having some conversations. Right now, we're most interested in getting where we can have the functionality there. And like I said, I have an immediate need to create some content surrounding this REtoken relaunch so that people can digest this a little bit better, because there's a lot of great stuff that is getting currently lost, I think, in Discord, because Discord is not the great place to have meteor content.
So I have this Figma board set up that I was kind of using earlier to just map out some things that we want the website to do. And
can you zoom in and make it a little bigger? I can't see it very good on my end.
Is that better?
A little more if you could.
There we go. Is it showing up better now?
Yeah, I can see that better now.
All right, so we have this welcome page that will start off the onboarding journey for, well, it won't like immediately start it off, but when people are coming to our page to learn about us, the option to have the onboarding journey will be there. And that will end up with them being awarded an Initiate NFT. And my idea for this onboarding journey is going to be everything from like teaching them about the mission and principles of REtoken, and giving them like I want to require them to go to one meeting from every team like in 1 week, if that makes sense. They don't have to do it all in 1 week, but I would want them to visit the content team and visit the ambassador team and visit the dev team if they don't know what they want to contribute to. You know, like if they really want to get involved in REtoken but they don't know exactly what they want to do, I would ask in this onboarding journey for them to just try and take a taste of everything that we do here. And then also on this page there would be kind of like Mrs. Yonks, what you were asking about with all of the starter page links. We'd have that all on the welcome page. And then the content page, I don't really know what that's going to look like, but we're probably gonna have, you know, a lot of content pages, but I would think that we want some sort of like content directory, because I'm thinking that we'll probably have, we could potentially, you know, this real estate tokenization is such a broad concept for, like, I could see us hosting educational content about the blockchain on there, same as with like compliance information on real estate. You know, there's a lot of different topics that we could have, and I think it's important for us to have a content page that indexes all of this in a fashion that's easy to digest, you know. And then also I want to have these unlock protocol gated pages for initiates and also later admins. We're going to have tools, of course, that admins and team captains can use. Eventually we'll have this whole event flow done really easily so that you can just go on the events or app, what was it, app subdomain, is that the subdomain, Yonks?
Yeah, I think that would be the best one for housing this sort of functionality. And that's one of the things too that we need to potentially think about, like, I've put, and I don't know if there'll be much, anyway, that's another thought as far as the WordPress multi-site. I think the biggest decision that we need to make here today, and this is assuming that we can get the website online, is if we want to have like blog.ret.team and then all of that, or if we want to do it just under ret.team as far as where any content that's coming from, like this REtoken relaunch. This is, like, from my perspective, the biggest thing that I'm focused on creating from a content standpoint. And it is looking like we'll probably have that REtoken relaunch AMA, I believe 10 a.m. on Wednesday Eastern time, and that's where, like, this is one of the things I'm wanting to spend in the next 24 to 48 hours to have, a home for the live stream, but then also like some content to direct people into, so that whenever I create the live stream for this AMA REtoken relaunch, that I can have a page to, a permalink on ret.team. So the question that we need to make a decision on is that going to be blog.ret.team, or is it going to be like the main content? And then the opportunity to potentially, like, Medium is a very, like, well regarded. So the opportunity for REtoken to have our own Medium and then, like, do a cross posting. Mirror.xyz is extremely popular within the crypto community. So the opportunity for us to also have that as a component within our content strategy and have backlinks, from all of those places back to either blog.ret.team or ret.team. So that's the big question mark here, I think, from my perspective as team captain of the content team.
Do we have to make that decision right now? I want to look more into the subdomain versus subfolder topic. My concern is there will be, like, if we need to set up a database at some point, I'm thinking like farther in the future. I don't know if there's an easier way. I've only ever set them up with subfolders, which makes me think that it's hard to do with subdomains.
It has nothing to do with the database. So this is literally from an implementation standpoint. It's a knob in WordPress. The important consideration is from an SEO and, like, a search engine optimization. And that's one of the reasons, because when it's a subdomain, it's treated from an SEO standpoint separately than the entire thing. So the opportunity in the subfolder has some scalability considerations. So I think from a WordPress multi-site, with the direction and the scalability that we could potentially have, I really think that it makes a lot more sense to go from the subdomain. And the concerns as far as the database, I mean, it can be migrated later, but that's just more of a, how that you want to architect a permalink. Because the goal with architecture from a permalink strategy is that when you create a link, you never want it to become broken ever again. Because like when you think about, like, this live stream right now, the links get pushed out through Restream to like a half a dozen or dozen channels. So that instantly, like, whenever we create the live stream, that creates a bunch of backlinks right there. So, and you never, it's just bad form to have a broken backlink, because you lose a lot of juice there. So that's, from a design standpoint, the main thing that we want to be intentional about is getting that done well and never having any, because you can change things. I think another reason that the subdomain makes more sense is, like, when we're talking about doing functionality with our .ethereum, and this is assuming that we go in the direction of acquiring ret.eth, which I think that we should, because I think that provides a lot of opportunity. So, like, when you think about using subdomains with ret.eth and having that in a similar manner that can be in a similar architecture from a concept standpoint, I think that it'll just translate easier, in my opinion.
Well, I don't really know much about search engine optimization, so I'll follow your lead on this one.
And just from a architecting, you know, the SEO is a different topic altogether. Just understand from a like when you're designing something, you just never want broken links. So like a well thought out, like, and this was something that was being pretty intentional about on our light paper, we biddle passive income with real estate investing for everyone. Like went and did a little tweaks on Getbook, because the awesome thing, even though that we're using Getbook to facilitate the from a platform standpoint, it's still on a domain that we own. Right now it's retoken.info, and we were talking earlier on the ad hoc conversation about switching that over to ret.TEAM, which I think makes sense too. So that's something, even though it's on Getbook, we will own that URL. And then like, we just never want, like if we put like a ret.TEAM / REtoken relaunch or whatever we want that article title to be, we never want that article title to be broken. So if whenever that gets out there all over the internet, whether it's on Getbook or whether it's on WordPress or whether it's on Mighty Networks or whether it's on whatever platform that might come down the road. And then like one of my expectations too, as far as like some of these domains that you own for life, as that becomes potentially more integrated within web browsing architecture, the opportunity to have, like one of the domains that we have right now is retoken.DAO, which is the .DAO is a UNS unstoppable domain name that we own for life. We paid a one-time fee for that domain, and then REtoken DAO owns that domain forever. The problem with the .DAO is it's not regularly integrated within the browsing. So it's not as far as functionality as functional as like the .team or a .com or, you know, a lot of the other TLDs that exist. So carry on with the Figma conversation, and I'm just going through looking at this steps here while you're having that side conversation as far as getting this done on our current VPS solution. And I'm going to go on mute.
This is Yonks. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about having on the page, or anybody?
I hear.
Didn't catch it, Dan. What did you just say?
I had said, was there any other functionality that we wanted on this page, or on any of the website?
I don't know if this is going to be something that we want to address now, but we need to have a sign up page, and I don't know if we need to build in any kind of KYC functionality for that we might need for later, or if we just want to leave that off and not worry about it.
That was something I was thinking about adding to the onboarding journey. Yonks had showed me, I think it was called Bright ID. I was going to look more into that. But one of my concerns with the onboarding journey was, since we're going to be minting NFTs and or REtoken to people for completing this journey, I want to make sure that people aren't just spinning up addresses and going through the onboarding journey over and over again to collect voting power or whatever. So I wanted to use Bright ID or some kind of KYC mechanism to ensure that people aren't abusing that.
Yeah, and I would encourage you, Design. This is something that Mrs. Yonks and I did. We went down the rabbit hole, not the colloquial rabbit hole, if you will, but rabbithole.gg, and they do incorporate Bright ID as a component of their onboarding process for exactly the reason that you were talking about, was people were gamifying the process. So now they have the Bright ID as a Sybil resistance component into the journey there. So, and that may be, I think that there's even an opportunity for us to potentially engage. And this is the great thing about the Web3 and the crypto space. We need to look at all of this stuff. Like, we don't have to design everything ourselves. The opportunity for us to potentially create a proposal or whatever that looks like. I don't know what that looks like as far as engaging from a community, but there's already good examples of that. More recently, I think it was like October or something, they did some dynamic with DAO House where you could, anyway, I missed that window because I hadn't fully gone through the rabbit hole, if you will.
Okay, so some kind of KYC component. We were mentioning having like subdomains for team captains and people that are actively participating. Is that something that we also want to have? I don't know, like how much of a social media component are we trying to add on to this? Because I feel like that could get out of scope pretty quickly.
I think for starters, while we're figuring this out, we need to just link the REtoken official accounts. Maybe buttons, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. I don't think we need to have everybody.
I think that what DSign is talking about is different though. Like what can you reframe that a little better, DSign, for us?
Yeah, I'm talking about kind of like we had mentioned earlier, making a subdomain for people that wanted to kind of create content for REtoken, or like create content and hosted it on REtoken. And I'm wondering, like, where do we offer that as something that anybody can do? Like anybody can spin up their own little section or subdomain on REtoken.
No, I think that needs to be for now anyway. I mean, that's something that we could explore after we get a little more experience and see if that's something that we want to. But I think that that's something that could be for those ambassadors that want to have a voice from a content standpoint. And I would absolutely put myself into that category because I would definitely like to create content on yonks.ret.team. And because I also believe in leading by example. And I think that for people that position themselves well with how that we're going about this is like with the fractionalized real estate certificate program. And like when you're thinking about like real estate professionals, like branding is a strong component of that. So if we can make it easy for people that want to do that, Now, I think that there needs to be some, like we're talking about having an initiate, there needs to be some type of ambassador. And that's one of the things that we're doing in the ambassadors team, is working towards developing an ambassadors onboarding, because it's not like, say, hey, I want to be an ambassador, and then we give that out to everybody, because we want to be good stewards of who that we're anointing, or whatever process that we'll call that, like on what we're going to develop a legitimate. And that would be another unlock protocol opportunity that could result, because my expectation too is that a good percentage of these ambassadors may want to go through the certificate program that we're creating. And that would be like, potentially another NFT that we could create some token gated aspects within this or our other community platform. And that's one of the things too, because this is just one of our community tools and content tools. This is more of because WordPress is still king when it comes to executing a solid SEO strategy. And they do that very well, which is one of the reasons that it's had so much success, and because it does deliver, especially a solid SEO strategy, and you can really, with some effort, make it look really refined. And I'm excited to see, like, one of the things that we put forward here today, and I need to go on mute and get back to doing some actual work instead of talking here, but getting the, go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, DSign, how much work would it be to make a blog that people could contribute to as themselves, but it would just be blog.retoken or blog.ret, and then Jason wants his own because he creates tons and tons of content? Can we just do yonks.ret and then blog.ret, and then it could be this article is by you, and this one's by me, and this one's by Amy, and we're all on one list, and then people can just contribute what they want. So if you want to write once a month or whatever, if you want to create every day, we can talk about that separately.
That's what this WordPress multi-site is. That's the functionality that we get out of the box with what we're setting up here today.
Yeah, no, I know, but what I think is the whole idea of letting people figure out how much content they want to create on the general site first. And then we'll just see before we just give them their own site. Let's see what they create. And if they create a lot, then we can figure that out. And that way you don't have to worry about screening it on the front end.
Well, I think the policies, so like what we're talking about setting up is again, it's not like involved. It's literally a knob to turn on. And then like what you're talking about as far as that's more of a policy and procedure, not a technical thing. So that's something that we have to decide from, like establishing because my expectation is that most of the ambassadors aren't necessarily going to want to create written content. Now, I believe that that's going to change over time when they see that the benefits that will provide to the people that embrace that type of a strategy. And I just noticed we don't have any screen share going. Did you want me to share something on my end, D-Sign?
Looks like we lost him for a minute. Just go ahead, Jason. Looks like we lost him in the stream.
Okay, cool. I'm firing that back up and pulling some of these windows off over here. Actually shut a couple of these down. So, and one of the other things too, we have Double D and Ifosa on here that have both contributed from a design standpoint. I don't know if either one of them have any experience as far as doing a look and feel for WordPress, like from a themes standpoint. And then I see Deo Ola. Oh, that's Double D. So yes, thanks for chiming in on the YouTube comments, Double D. So I see those on the live stream. So I'm going to focus here. If you want to drive that conversation as far as the WordPress theme, I'm going to look on this stuff to get this domain set up for us over here.
So Amy, Ifosa, Double D, what do you guys think about what we're talking about so far? Okay, we'll come back to them. So are we going to start with just putting up almost like the Gitbook links and start from there and then start adding stuff, or how difficult is it to add stuff and then take it down? Or do you just want to just do all the design work first and then put it up in one shot?
No, like you've used WordPress a little bit, setting up the links and stuff like that, and there's different ways to do that within WordPress. The thing that I'm personally most interested in is getting like I talked about us needing to make a decision on like any official blog like REtoken blog, like this REtoken relaunch. What do we want that URL to be? Either ret.TEAM / like REtoken relaunch, or December 2021. So that, or whether we want that to be on its own subdomain there too. I mean, and those conversations could go either way. And I think a lot of the times it's just set up on it's on subdomain, but it's again, you can make a lot of this look very consistent from a look and feel standpoint. So but going back to the question as far as the WordPress themes, like, and that might be something too that we could potentially do a bounty for, and do some type of WordPress theme contest. I mean, like right now we've got this POAP design contest that we need to communicate and set up some parameters as far as getting that to so that we can finalize on the winners here by the end of the month. And then like I'm thinking from a look and feel standpoint for this website, put that in momentum where we could get that dialed in through a process in coming weeks. That's kind of just thinking out loud right now.
Okay, well, can we get that done before the next, were you saying before the next community call or before the next content team call?
Get the website online?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that that's something that I think right now with what I'm seeing, I'm just going to open up a ticket with Rose Hosting. That's who Mrs. Yonks and I use for our VPS solution. One of the other things that we were wanting to talk about here right now was going through the coordinate, and I saw that DSign popped back in since this was kind of like a dev team working group, wanted to and we just finished up with our last, I guess it's technically called an epic, right? Even though it looks like epoch, right? Am I saying?
Technically, it looks like epoch, but I feel like we were all calling it epoch, and then it was epic. So there you go. Learn something new every day.
All right. So I don't know if you caught that. Welcome back, DSign. But one of the things with where we're at right now, I'm going to get this ticket opened up with Rose Hosting as far as making sure that everything is in place with WordPress MultiSite. And that's one of the fabulous things about Rose Hosting is that they do a lot of the stuff on the back end. And one of the things that we spoke about earlier on the ad hoc, and let me actually add this to our Trello card over here as far as some next actions for dev team is that need to propose a migration strategy from Rose Hosting VPS to a solution owned and managed entirely by the DAO teams. And, this is something that I can absolutely help to facilitate with as far as from a conversational piece. And if that's something that you want to take from an ownership standpoint and, whoever that you need to engage DSign as far as, and from a priority standpoint, this is like a really low priority. I mean, like, it will be a great problem to have where this new website that we create gets so much traffic to it that we need to put a solution in place faster. But my expectation is that this is a low priority. So focusing on the efforts to remove or reduce the pain points as far as the event creation, and then really like getting this onboarding, that's definitely a much higher priority standpoint. I'm just putting this out here so that we can add this as like a project card. And I'm going to actually just add a little like note here. Should create a Trello project for this, because that's definitely a project and a low priority one. So does that make sense, DSign?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, let's go ahead and create a Trello card for it, and we can like just use that card to house conversations over the next couple months while we're focusing on other things. Because yeah, I'm not super concerned about the Yonks team running away with the website. So
yeah, and it's, I mean, it's the bigger concern, and I already voiced that and just to re-echo that is that, like, momentum can happen quick and fast, and if this VPS hosts multiple other websites and it's not a beefy VPS, so that's something that we need to be cognizant of, because we don't want broken website functionality. So if we get and that's something that we'll kind of be mindful of, but that is a potential, and that may be something that it goes from low priority to like 911 type. And in our website, it's not like that we have, like, we're not having revenue at chance, but like if we're talking about officially launching our certificate program, like where we're looking to receive transactions, because like all of this stuff right now, until we create a product that we're going to be selling, like our fractionalized certificate program, the website functionality is lower, and it's still a question mark. We're literally and that's what, in less than 3 hours, Tyler, where we're going to be having the new platform team conversation. So like there's going to be content getting created there. So this is like an ongoing work in progress as far as our overall content strategy. But we've already gone over on, well, we were a little bit of a delay on getting this started, but you good with talking about the coordinate here for the dev team and just walking through that, since the very first coordinate epic ended with the dev team?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So coordinate, for those that aren't familiar, we've been implementing coordinate. This is now the start. We are in week 51. Here's our REtoken calendar. We've got a lot of agenda here for the first couple of days. We've got the Christmas holiday on Saturday. So we've got a lot of agenda on that. And where I was going with this is that it's week 51. There's only one more week, but this is Monday, the start of the week. And we schedule, or we set up this round one, and this is the third week now. Week 51 is the third week of round one of our first round of coordinate. And coordinate is we're just starting to utilize this. This is the admin window for coordinate. We have another, for people that are more interested in coordinate, we have a breakout. And what we were looking to do here today was to go through the process of and this is something that I would really like to see the team captains take ownership of and go through this process. And this isn't a documented process yet. And that's one of the reasons that love having the conversation, because we can easily refer back to this as a key moment in this particular video to reference this. So as you can see, Epic 1 just completed. We had 10 members that allocated 910 tokens. So what happens here, and I'm not going to talk about the process of allocation or anything like that. We've got other videos that have already been recorded. You can go rewind those. This is specifically geared more, and thank you, DSign, for taking the initiative to be the team captain. Also want to thank Dax for stepping in when you weren't feeling well here this last weekend. So I'm really glad that you're feeling better. And thanks, Dax, for stepping up to lead the dev team on Saturdays. If you missed that, you can watch the replay. So anyway,
Dax did a great job. I watched it last night, trying to catch up. It was awesome.
Absolutely, and he nailed it again when he summarized the on the core team call yesterday. So thanks for echoing the sentiments there. Appreciate that. So you can see here real quick, and this again isn't to talk about the administration. This is specifically when an epoch ends, which it just did here at 10 a.m. UTC. And that's how that we're scheduling it. UTC translates to, I believe, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we wanted to give people plenty of opportunity on Sunday evening, if they're a procrastinator, and I fall in that category very often myself, to allow people plenty of opportunity to finish this up. And there was some questions raised here by some of the people on our coordinate call yesterday, if we're going to continue to do in the current manner, because this is just one of, and you can see here, we've got the dev team call, we've got ambassadors, content team, core relaunch, and the new platform team. And this is the first week that we're doing a coordinate for the new platform team. Again, thank you, Mrs. Yonks, for earning that. So when the epic ends here, which it just did earlier today, we can come in and export the CSV. And this is something where when we work on getting this in a like a documented procedure, we can get that in place where we're using similar naming conventions and stuff like that. So I created a folder up here at the top, and this is the let's see. Where I was going here. So this is the folder that I was using. So this was right here, and I'm going to just rename this. So this was week 50, and this is the dev team. All right, and we're gonna save this, and this was round 1.2. So like I said, that was the second round. This was even though this was the first epic of the dev team, this is the second round. The first round, we only had 2 circles that were live. That was the ambassador circle and the core relaunch team. So here's the file name here for that. I'm gonna just throw this here in the, and I can't remember if I think I might have started putting some checklists behind this workflow, but, and anyway, so exporting that, and then we have a Google Sheet Tracker, and I'm gonna fire that open in another tab here. And did we get you the access to this here too, DSign?
Is that the address page, the like directory?
Yeah, so it's so like here's what it looked like. So this is the one for the first round. So this is the ambassadors, and I should probably just make this like where I can see it a little better here. And let's see, I'm just gonna actually, no, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna put this ambassadors right here. Okay, and this is the this tab, and then this one over here is core team, and this is the one from last week. So we're going to actually just import the data here as a new sheet, import and upload, and I'm going to make this, and I'm going to just drag and drop here, nothing fancy on the drag and drop. So let me bring over my drag and drop, REtoken, coordinate, and dev team. So I just grabbed my little CSV that it kicked out, drag it in here, upload it, and we're gonna create an insert new sheet, and all that's good. And then we have the new sheet right here. And then on this, I'm gonna just rename the tab here to, because this is excessively long because it used the file name, and this is gonna be dev 1-2. So this is like coordinate round 1-2 dev, like real easy stuff. So with this, I can just copy these columns over here like this, and I'll get the one for the dev team. And I think that, let's see, I think that's the last. Yeah, so just drop this in there, and then get this, pull this down. And I don't know if I got my, I might have to make some adjustments on the calculation here real quick. 12. Oh, no, I need to go to row 13. And I should be able to just pull these guys down here. Oh, let's see. I think it's J4. Oh, J3. And let's see if this should be, why isn't this adding up here? Oh, it's just J1. And this will be, won't be, because you should have more rows of this. And I don't know if there's an easier way to do that calculation like that, but if somebody's better at the spreadsheets than me. But here's what it looks like here. And this was one of the things that we, and let me change this here to dev team, because this is the dev team, and this is round around 1-2. So like looking at what this looks like, and this is one of the things too, where this number we can, like I put forward a proposal to like a temp check on Discord to, instead of doing 250, like what had been originally talking about, that where everybody was on board with the 500. So here's what that looks like. And it just changes the numbers automatically. And that's the thing, like, because one of the hopes that have here with using Coordinape is that a lot more of the work, because like right now, most of the work that we're doing happens here on a live stream or a working group or something like that, kind of like what happened here today. But there's a lot of stuff that happens, or an increasing amount of stuff that should happen in between our live stream events. And this is one of the things that Coordinape will be one of those tools where we can. And also here during the REtoken relaunch, we have the opportunity and the need to really define some roles and responsibilities as far as what the different teams are going to be doing and contributing to the DAO at large. But that's kind of what it looks like as far as importing that. And so with this right here, like I can just take this, move this guy over here and throw this like this into for doing the airdrop, because it just needs a CSV for the airdrop. So that's what it'll look like. And that's actually one of the airdrops that planning on doing here in the next, what is it? I don't know, 24 or 48 hours, I'm going to be doing another airdrop, which will include round 1 and 1-1 and 1-2 of our first Coordinate epics, and then also any of the other stuff catching up on from a normal DAO business standpoint. So do you got any questions on that one there, D-Sign, as far as what that looks like? Because that's one of the things I'm really hoping that the team captain will do. And then, like, you know, depending on what it looks like as far as from a airdrop standpoint, you know, maybe that even might evolve to the team captain is airdropping their own team stuff, or that maybe that's something that we could get automated. You know, I would love to increase this, because like right now we're using Google Sheets, and the opportunity of automating some of this workflow, like we've talked about using Airtable. Like how fabulous would it be if we were able to on our Coordinate window over here, instead of export CSV, that we could click on a button that says import into Airtable, and then it would do all this WYSIWYG or whatever magic stuff in the background, you know. So that's the more that we can make this easy for, you know, doing whatever. And then, you know, that looking forward to all the tools and automating some of this stuff.
I got 2 words for everybody just to think about. When superfluid.
The thing with Superfluid is that doesn't provide this functionality. So the functionality is very different. See, this provides a calculator here, because Superfluid is for giving the same amount time in and time out. Like we were talking about 250 bonus for the team captain. So I would absolutely love to get Superfluid online, because like right now, you know, until we do, we're not getting any bonus as a team captain. And that's one of the, I think, a really practical use case that we could create, where it's got a consistent amount, because like this that's the big value proposition that this provides, because like this is an amount that was contributed by all of the other people based upon this peer-reviewed dynamic that Coordinate creates. Superfluid, from the way that I understand it, is very good at creating consistent streams, but when there's a variable component here, and one of the other value propositions of doing it on a weekly basis, we operate on a weekly basis here. We have a calendar that works on a weekly basis, and the opportunity to, you know, because one week somebody might, like, you know, be completely absent, and you know, like that's apparent. They're not showing up for anything. They're silent on Discord, and if they're participating in Coordinate, if they're, you know, and that's fine. We don't want to create an environment, you know. So that's,
I was thinking that we would use the Superfluid to pay the team captains, though. I wasn't talking about for the to replace Coordinate or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that, hey, if you want design here, we can put this on the calendar. Like I'm planning on already bumping this over here to Tuesday or Wednesday. This one, I put that let us meet out there for the and with it, because I was wanting to communicate too, and also wanting to create some more content. So like if we wanted to get a let us meet over here, I didn't want to put any like anyway, we can take that offline. I would love to get that set up. The other thing too about the superfluid, if we're talking about doing the subdomains with ret.eth, which I think make the most sense, like dev dot or dev captain, or whatever, set up that subdomain, because then once we set that up on the subdomain, we can change the underlying wallet, because the expectation is that those captains will change. So, but with it on that ENS subdomain, the opportunity of, and we don't have, like right now, we haven't put forward the proposal. Mrs. Yonks itemized the transaction costs, and we need to put that forward in a temp check, and then move that forward, because like right now, we need to do some treasury diversification, because like right now the treasury doesn't even have any ETH to like just facilitate that. So that's it's a little bit more involved as far as getting that transferred, and from a time standpoint. But I mean, I think we could set Superfluid up right now, especially on Polygon, which is where that we'll be streaming the REtoken from. So that's the nice thing about being on Polygon with our social token, is that tearing up new streams or tearing them down doesn't cost a lot there on the L2 chain Polygon. So yeah, let's take that conversation offline. And for those that are interested in participating on that, we'll be having some more conversations coming up here. We've already had some in the past on Superfluid. But as far as today, the next steps are here is I'm going to create a ticket with Rose Hosting as far as moving this WordPress multi-site. We've got everything set up, and they can just run with this, and then they'll basically hand over some keys, I think, to us as far as some admin keys to the WordPress multi-site, and then we can figure out. I really think the subdomain over the subfolder is the better choice, especially when we're talking already about doing subdomains on the .eth domain, because there's not a technical capability with that to use subfolders. So that's I think from an ease of implementation, I think it's easier just into the whole architecture thing. But we'll circle back here on a specific one, because I tossed the tease, if you will, with the video thumbnail of the Unlock Protocol. And we'll come back when we have our WordPress site, and we can come back and we can have that conversation here for you all, because we're very excited to incorporate Unlock Protocol into more things here. Again, Design and I participated on the Unlock Protocol. We do already use Unlock Protocol for Tokentown, Founding Citizen. The conversations are going to intensify on Tokentown substantially in 2022. We just literally 2 days ago, we received 10 grand of grant from the Polygon ecosystem DAO to put some marketing efforts forward for Tokentown, Colorado, because right now we have 32 founding citizens available. Well, technically, we created the opportunity of having a total. It's limited at 32, and only 4 have been acquired so far. And that's going to be one of the efforts, again, that we're going to be focusing on while we're working towards destroying the HOA model and building a better framework. So this is the other opportunity too, when we're putting some of these tools in place, Design, is that something that could potentially be utilized for Tokentown, like the mothership there, to make it easier for residents of Tokentown, Colorado, because we want to make this as easy as possible for everybody. And I think that it can. I'm very excited about how easy that this WordPress plugin with the Unlock Protocol WordPress plugin will make doing stuff like that in WordPress very easy. So looking forward to it. Does anybody have any final thoughts here on this? We're, like I said, already promised to circle back in another live stream for installing and getting the WordPress, and kind of, we saw a demo. We're going to take this live here with our RET, and we also have the opportunity, DSign. So it's not just one domain that we're working with. Tokentown, I already showed you here. So we already have Unlock Protocol. So we have the opportunity, and now, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much more time, but we could probably potentially install this Unlock Protocol WordPress plugin on tokentown.net. Are there any takers for that right now? Yes, no?
I think it's a great idea. I just don't know how to do it.
Well, that's the awesome thing about WordPress plugins, is it's normally pretty easy to do. So like, I just need to log in here. I think it's this. I think there's a link at the bottom, actually. Maybe I turned it off. Okay, so here we go. Yonks, log in. So Unlock Protocol has detected that user registrations are disabled on this website. Please make sure that settings anyone can register is enabled. So let's see if, let's actually take a look, because it might have gotten updated automatically. Because I don't remember this banner being here when I was here last time.
It was last updated 2 weeks ago on the right.
Yeah, so this definitely has to be the new one, right? Because I don't think that this one said that it was actually compatible on version. So it looks like that this plugin updated automatically. The other action item too that we have, DSign, and we can take this offline, but we have an immediate need and opportunity for upgrading our smart contract on Tokentown. And this is one of the things that we spoke about on the dev team call, but we'll take that offline. I've got an idea how we can structure that into 3 different bounties for completing. And this is something that would really like to see done, that we can speak to by Wednesday, our community call. And that would be some strong representation from the dev team, where we get this one crossed off the list, because I've spoke about it at the core team as a high priority. So anyway, so Unlock Protocol. So let's actually change this setting right now. Unlock Protocol has detected that user registrations are disabled on this website. So let's go ahead, settings, anyone can register, and let's turn this on. Anyone can register. And I don't know if these are out of the box. I think that these are out of the box. So let's just leave that as default on subscriber. I think that this is a tiered manner, so that each ladder gets, with administrator having guide rights on this installation. So let's see on that. Save changes. This is all that we changed right here, was the new user default role. Save changes. So this might even be an easier situation, because already had the Unlock Protocol plugin installed here on tokentown.net. So like, let me actually go in this window over here on REtoken DAO, and let's go to tokentown.net. And so when we created this web page, we intentionally didn't have this as a web page that people should be registering for. And this is the let me see here, because I'm logged in. Let me actually log out. And this is one of the things that I don't know if there's a way to bridge two users or not, but let me actually log out of this and see where it's got this. This doesn't normally happen on a normal website. You don't normally on a WordPress website, you don't normally get a connect your crypto wallet button. This is what the Unlock Protocol provides. And this, my friends, this is huge because this is the best bridge that I have seen for bridging Web 2 with Web 3. Because already alluded, WordPress is the king for managing content. Some people, that's probably debatable, but you just look at the statistics for open source websites, WordPress is the king. So anyway, I think that that's a fact, but people would probably get emotional based upon preferences. Anyway, so I just logged out of the WordPress that I had created prior to this WordPress Unlock Protocol plugin getting updated. So I'm going to connect Crypto Wallet. This is the first time that I've connected my crypto wallet. I did already acquire. So I have a founding citizen NFT on my MetaMask wallet. So let's see what this looks like, because this is literally the first time that I'm going through this here. So this is me being very raw and open with all of you. So let's see, in browser wallet. And the thing that was fabulous was like, I created a video because when we acquired Mrs. Yonk's founding citizen NFT, I created a video and we actually acquired that using a MetaMask mobile browser. And that's one of the videos that's in the Token Town repository on our YouTube channel. And I was really pleased with that process because it was a very, very easy process, and a lot of the times you've got some reduced functionality. And that's one of the things that we need to be mindful of, is how that people are going to be accessing our website. I'm just getting my, looks like MetaMask wants me to log in here real quick. So I was just getting my password here on my clipboard, unlock. And let's see, one of the things too, and we'll see what this workflow looks like. This one is on, let's see if it makes a difference what network that it's on. So this is me logging in. So you saw how easy that was, and this was huge. I mean, this is a huge opportunity. Like, so the fabulous thing about this is that people can just connect their wallet. They don't have to provide an email address now that they're a subscriber on our website. So you saw how easy that was. And yeah, I'm really excited to start using this and seeing where we can go with this. This is, I was really excited when found Unlock Protocol, and the WordPress plugin that you just saw some is night and day, substantially better than the WordPress plugin whenever we installed it on Token Town. So there you see the and we'll have to see what the functionality provides. I mean, as you saw, the role that is assigned me was a subscriber, which is the least elevated, but that's one of the things that one of the things too I'm curious about is if it allows like the so you can go in and change all of this stuff. So I'm gonna just, well, I don't know, I guess I could just put some of this stuff in here. I might as well, right? But what are all your thoughts? I mean, has anybody like been a editor on a WordPress site before, or?
I have not. I'm excited to just get in the dashboard and start looking around at what we can.
Well, yeah, link up your crypto wallet. I mean, Token Town is live. You saw, like, you can go to tokentown.net. I just, like, during this live stream, turn that on so you can connect your wallet. I can go in there after you get your wallet connected and bump you up to some admin privileges. This is a, we've already got this online working, and this is, adding more functionality to this website, like the opportunity of, and I don't know if there's the capability for us to create a founding citizen, but like, imagine how from a user experience, somebody acquires our founding citizen NFT, and then they can just use this functionality to access gated content that we create as a founding citizen NFT holder. That's the kind of opportunity that we have here.
How do I access the WordPress site?
It's you mean like the login?
Yeah.
Let me link it right here. And this is where we could do a better thing as far as like from an experience standpoint. It's a WP-admin, and that's a default like WordPress thing that I don't even think can be changed. Anyway, let's see. Display name as yonks.eth.
Made it in now.
Awesome. Yeah, so that should negate the I have to use a different email. So that was one of the things I was a little curious about. And this is one of the things too that I am a little concerned about with me adding this record now. And now that I've got the other record, I might elevate myself anyway. I'll figure that out offline because I really don't want a separate two accounts for myself in this database, WordPress database. But yeah, no, this is definitely very, very exciting. This functionality. I mean, like I didn't even think of that until I was like, hey, we've got a website where we've already got Unlock Protocol. And real quick, I'm gonna show this real quick as the opportunity here real quick for everybody that's on or that might be watching this later. I'm gonna pull up the Unlock Protocol dashboard, like the admin dashboard for our Token founding citizen, because there's not really anything to be hidden about. It's a pretty fabulous smart contract protocol. As I've mentioned, it was quite a bit of consideration went into why that we chose that over multiple working groups. And it was Poopster brought in Dunks from Creator DAO, and that's who that they use for their founding citizen NFT. And then Julian, the founder of Unlock Protocol, was very helpful on the Discord as well. So here's the dashboard, and this again is the immediate opportunity that we have design. I would really like to say that we got this crossed off the list, and I'll take that offline as far as how that we can get this mini project completed. But your lock was deployed on an older Unlock contract. Please clone it to a new version of Unlock. So this is it's a pretty simple dashboard, and this is for our Tokentown, Colorado founding citizen round 1, tokentown.net. But already went way out of context on this. I felt good adding the what we did there and showing on the live stream with Unlock Protocol and connecting. This was me connecting my own wallet to the WordPress tokentown.net database there. So this is something that we'll be adding some more functionality to tokentown.net, because like I said, conversations are going to intensify in 2022 on Tokentown. Anticipate that. So anybody else want to chime in some final thoughts before we call it a wrap? We've got a couple live streams coming up here later this evening, and I'll bring open that calendar real quick with what we've got coming up here later today.
After we hang up on this call, can you message me with the details about the Unlock stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get that workflow going. Why don't we do this? Whenever we hop off of here, let's just hop in the Discord voice, and we'll just verbally relay that. So I'll figure out how that you want to move that that project initiative forward. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? Appreciate you, Efosa and Double D. Like, if you have any experience, anybody else too that has experience with WordPress, feel free to reach out to myself or Mrs. Yonks. We will probably be architecting some type of, we love doing some type of contests or bounties or something like that. We have the POAP design contest, and that's something that I'm going to be speaking about. Probably I'm going to work on creating a specific video on that to drum up some more excitement, because we did agree to extend that. And then we're also going to have a planning session, which we don't have reflected on the calendar yet, but a lot of stuff going on here in December for REtoken. This is REtoken relaunch month. Great opportunity for people that have been on the fence to hop in. We have a place for you here because there's so much to do. But I'm going to stop talking, do the visual countdown to 5, and then we will call that an end here. And if you want to chime in, feel free to on the visual countdown.
I want to learn WordPress.
Well, this is a great opportunity, Amy. I mean, I would love nothing more than to have one of our staunch, like how fabulous would it be? Like if you're hanging out on Clubhouse where you could say, hey, if you want to look me up, I'm at amy.ret.TEAM, and we could have a fabulous landing page there where you could create whatever type of experience that you wanted to, as far, and that's one of the things that I think that we can do through some really cool templated landing pages for our ambassadors. And that's kind of just putting out some vision, you know, but the opportunity for you to have that is what we're wanting to create here for you, Amy. And on that note, I'm going to just put this out here too. There's been a little bit of a conversation about a mastermind. We're going to have more conversation about having a mastermind. If you're curious about that enough, go onto our Discord, REtoken, search for mastermind, and you will find that conversation. But I'm going to do the visual countdown again. And then if there's nobody that chimes in, we will call it a day. And I'm going to go on mute now.
See you guys later.